Welcome back, friends, to Snowrunner episode 9. This is a re-recording of this episode, you might say. What you are watching is the recording that I made, but it is being dubbed over. Because when I originally made the recording, I had forgot to have the microphone on in OBS. We've just returned from Russia and we are looking over the upgrade options for the F-750. At this point, essentially what I've come to realize is that all the upgrades for this F-750 are in Russia. So in order to do anything with this truck, upgrades wise, we have to go back to Russia. Now, my plans for this series weren't to spend a lot of time off the maps in different regions until each region was completed. So to know that in order to use this truck, we essentially have to go back to Russia. Well, let's just say it's going to be the way it is for a while. Unless you, the viewers, want me to go back to Russia to get the upgrades for this truck. If that's the case, then I will go back to Russia and we will go around collecting the upgrades for this truck. Now here with the frame add-ons, I was hoping, or thinking, I should say, about putting the loading crane on the truck. But I kind of decided against it. And I think for the time being, I made the proper choice. If you're new to Snowrunner and you've never seen this truck fully done up with all of the upgrades, you won't understand this truck's full potential as a scout vehicle. As it is, it's no better than the CK-1500 Ultra we have sitting out in the parking lot or in the garage. So at this point, I was considering putting the mobile radar unit in the truck, but as the truck has very few upgrades available to it, I decided to leave it. Now we leave the garage and I look to the upper right hand corner and I see the task delivered to the forester's house to fuel. Okay. I know where roughly the forester's house is. And I know where to pick up the fuel. I also know that there's another task that we can pick up on our way. So I figure we'll knock 2 tasks out in one go. That's just showing you the other task, which is hungry workers that's picked up by the farm, and the consumables are picked up at the farm, which we have to drive through in order to get to the forester's house in a somewhat safe manner, shall we say. So I'm getting the F-750 turned around, pulling up to the trailer store to find a 4-slot cargo trailer. I considered that ramped flatbed, but it was really a on-road use flatbed, and I wanted an off-road. So I chose to go with a modified ramped flatbed. It was a 4-slot. Now, for me, it was interesting that the fieldwork trailers were available, as were the water trailers, because I don't have the year 3 or year 4 season passes where those trailers would need to be used. I only have year 1 and year 2 passes. So here within the next couple of minutes, you will see what I mean about the F-750 not being much better than the CK-1500. this point, we're simply heading to the fuel station. Here we pick up our 2 cargoes of fuel. And being we had only used 2 gallons of fuel, there was no point in fueling up. And this was the first real test for this F-750. Pulling the 2 cargo units of fuel up a steep hill. As you can see, it started off alright. But as it continued to go up the hill, it just got slower and slower. Even got to the point where I thought putting it in low or low or low plus would help it get up this hill. And that low didn't even help this truck. That's when I knew the truck wasn't going to be useful to us, at least for a while. In order for it to be useful, it really needs its upgrades. So that's where I need you, the viewers, to chime in and let me know. Do you want to see me go back to Russia? Do you want to see me explore and get the upgrades for this truck so that it can be used to its full potential? Because at the moment, it's not useful at all. And that's where I decide to bring it back into the garage and put it in storage. Or I guess we leave it out. And I bring out the big boy again. And I know I said in earlier episodes that I didn't intend to use Lime's Aries 2.0 because it seemed a little too powerful, even in the unmodified, really trim that it's in. It seems to be the best for what I have right now. I think in the next episode, I might change out its suspension a little bit, so it's not quite so high off the ground. Because that likes to happen when it's towing a trailer. Especially going downhill. I decided to take the route through this muddy, swampy area because we already knew that the Lions Aries 2.0 could do it. I could have taken the other easier route along the side of the field that's next to us. But ultimately, I would have had to try and make turns that I wasn't certain I had enough room to make with that trailer. Here, we're getting ready to stop and pick up consumables for the second task, Hungry Workers. And we are on our way. I do like with the tune that I have on the Aries 2.0 that it does struggle just a little bit with heavy loads. But all in all, I still think that for the Michigan maps at least, it is kind of an overpowered truck. Now at this point in the original video that didn't have any audio recording from me, I did explain that I could take a shorter route to get to the forester's house, but the shorter route was a more treacherous route. So I decided to take a longer, safer route so as not to dump the trailer or my cargo. Because if I dump the trailer and the cargo, I never would have gotten the crane truck out to pick up the cargo, let alone the trailer. And if by chance I had been able to upright the truck, then I would have had to drive all the way back and reload just to come back out again and take the long route. So I played it safe and I took the long route. Now, as you'll see, the drop-off marker just popped up. So that would be the forester's house, which you see coming into view just now. So I'm making a wide turn so I get the front of the truck in, activate cargo management, and drop off the fuel, where we make $1,900. So at this point, I had pointed out the hungry fisherman, but I knew that we had to activate the hungry workers contract. So that's why I went into the task menu to get that task highlighted and activated. As you can see now, we are pulling in to the drilling site. And in all reality, taking the long route didn't take us all that long anyway. Pull into the yellow box, drop off our 2 consumables, and we made another $2,400. At this point, in the original video, I was explaining that I was going to get that ramped flatbed out of the way because there was another task that was right nearby that we could do quickly. And that involves that trailer right there. That trailer goes across the river to an island to be dropped off. At that point, I had moved the camera to see what was ahead of the truck, to see if there was any potentials of tipping the truck over. And here, I knew I needed the camera at a certain angle to see the path that we need to tow this trailer along these rocks. All the while, I was wondering how well boggers grip the rocks under the water. And it turned out I had nothing to worry about. Pulled the trailer up into the box, made another $13.50. And I believe at this time I had checked how long I had been recording. And I still had a few minutes, so I decided we were going to run back over to the drilling site, because there was a watchtower over there that I wanted to get unlocked. And let's say we had a little mishap. You'll see what I'm talking about in a moment. At this point I pull up and I stop and I show you the marsh that we had to drive through. And I made the comment of, this is what I mean by somewhat treacherous terrain. Here I stop and I decide to raise the suspension on the truck just to keep its engine out of the water, not realizing how high the truck would actually lift. Only to have it turn over on me. So, using my winch, I tried one attempt to attach to something in that direction. Then on the second attempt, I was able to actually connect. Got the truck pulled over, started up, and right over on the other side. Boy, was I feeling like I was the smartest individual in the world. Now at this point, I was hoping that tree would be strong enough to roll this. I got lucky that it was. As soon as I got it back on its wheels and released the winch, I decided to put the suspension back in normal so that its center of gravity wasn't as high. At this point, I was kind of looking to see where the upgrade was located and where the CK-1500 was located. And just contemplating on my plans for the next episode. At this point, I wasn't expecting that water to be as deep as it was, but the Aries handled it just fine. And with unlocking that watchtower, that, for the most part, brought us to the end of this episode. Once again, guys, I apologize for the dub over on the video, especially having that Windows bar at the bottom of the video screen, as I do not know how to get rid of it, as this is just playing in my media player and I am speaking over it. If any of you can tell me how to get rid of that bar while I've got the media player up, by all means, I'll take any suggestions in the comments as to how to get rid of it, in case I ever have to do a dub over like this again. Though I will have to, because I have yet another video I have to dub over. Unfortunately, I recorded two the day I recorded this video. But with that, if you like what you saw, please hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe, and have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you may be, whenever you may be watching this. Thank you. Bye.